All right, we are live. We are live, and I forgot to send out the email link. So I'm going to do that right now. Stand by. I'll be right back. I got to email out the link to the show. We will have a pregame show. Stand by. Pregame show is over in 5 minutes. Official show starts in 5 minutes. Okay, I sent out the official email. Sent out the official email for the show. I'd forgotten to do that, but hey, it's done now. And so we are live, and it is a pregame show. So the VIPs are getting 4 minutes notice, 4 minutes notice that we are doing a live show. I just sent out the email, and got a couple of people that popped in already. So this is an emergency broadcast, and it's a partial intervention broadcast because Triforce Rich, is concerned that he can't wear an Oxford sport coat like the one I have right now on, that he can't wear that in casual situations. So we're going to address that issue. We're going to address the issue of the Bitcoin seizure, the Bitfinex hack. Evidently, a couple involved in it, or two people involved in it, have been caught, and 4.5 billion in Bitcoin. I think about 3.5 billion has been recovered. But anyway, a huge amount of Bitcoin has been recovered from the Bitfinex hack from 2016, dating back from 2016. So basically, if they give this money back, it's been seized by the government. If they give this money back to the people who owned it, who had the rightful claim on it, I'll put it that way, then those people are going to come out great because since 2016, of course, Bitcoin's gone way up in price, right? And so they probably wouldn't have had the strong enough hands to hold it from 2016 until 2022. Few people do. So the fact that these people took it and held it for that many years, and now the government's getting it, this is going to be a windfall for some people. So some people are doing good because these idiots that stole it, these hackers, were stupid enough to put their private keys. I think they put it in Dropbox up on the cloud, right? So the government got the private keys and therefore got the Bitcoin, right? But of course, the way the government operates, probably who knows how much of that Bitcoin will find its way back to the rightful owners. It'll probably end up in the coffers of the United States government on their balance sheet. Michael Saylor tweeted, he's such a troll. He tweeted that the US government now has like 3.5 billion worth of Bitcoin on their balance sheet or whatever, Hilarious. David Williams in the house, he's a numbers guy. Maybe he can shed some light on this. What can you shed any light on the Bitfinex thing? The Bitfinex thing, because you're a numbers guy. And Kyle's in the house. He says, "Hey, David, Craig, and everyone." And so that happened. And the word came out on that, I think earlier today. I think the word came out on the arrest. Of course, the hack is old news. And every time Bitcoin got hacked back in the day, and it doesn't get hacked as often now, there are better security procedures. But back in the day when an exchange would get hacked, what people would always say was that Bitcoin got hacked. No, Bitcoin didn't get hacked. somebody who didn't take care of their security properly had their Bitcoin stolen from them, but Bitcoin wasn't hacked. That would be like saying if I left a gold coin laying around and somebody took the gold coin from me, that gold got hacked, right? Gold didn't get hacked. A gold coin got stolen. So there's that. See, we always try to be factual on the channel here. So let's see, what else? What else did we have in the thing? Oh, the other issue that we had is this stunner here, and this is from this photo is in the Watches channel, on the Zello app, Zello app, and it's a free download on iOS or Android, and you can join the fun. You just download, create an account, and then add the Watches channel. But evidently, this Grand Seiko stunner here, this 5-day spring drive, is spot on after 4 days. After 4 days, it's spot on accurate. And I told him, I said, you're going to get spoiled. You're not going to want to go back to some lesser watch. And Triforce Rich said, he said, watch it lose 0.1 second a month, and Craig comes in with an arsenal to take it down. 3-part series of why your watch needs to be replaced. Yeah, you don't want a watch to be slow under any circumstances. You really don't, because that's more problematic to reset it, right? When you go to reset it, now you got to resync the minute hand and the hour hand and all that nonsense. Whereas if it's running a little fast, like this one here, the 002 stunner, all I have to do is hack it, pull it out, stop it for a few seconds, push it back in, and I can get it right back in sync, because it gains about 7 to 9 seconds a month. Okay, so once a month or so, I just pull out the crown for a few seconds, push it back in, and I'm good to go. And it stays in sync. The minute hand stays in sync with the second hand, etc. And so there's none of those issues. Triforce Rich, the subject of one of our topics is wearing the sport coat with casual attire. And to prove the point, because we don't just have idle chit chat on this channel. This is an Oxford sport coat. This is 100% alpaca. Let me pull up a picture here. Give me a moment. Oh, by the way, these are the jeans that I'm wearing. Here we go. These are the jeans that I'm wearing right now, with that black belt. In that picture, they're overlaid with some Bill's khakis. And these were Perry Ellis America series, and they were made in the USA. And so that's what I'm wearing right now. We're going to show those. And then here's the sport coat. Here is the sport coat. Oh, I don't know if we'll show that picture of Brianna wearing it. Well, maybe. So anyway, this is the sport coat that was sold new at Neiman Marcus. And this was back when I wore more like a 40 regular. This one is a little bit a little bit small, but I can still wear it. But it's a little bit tighter than I would like. And it's pure alpaca. And it is one of my favorites as far as comfort. It's just a stunning coat, just an absolutely stunning coat. So that's the coat that I'm wearing right now. And we're going to show you, let's see, Triforce Rich. The no tie look suits you a lot. You look great. Okay, so this Brooks Brothers shirt, you have that classic roll of the collar. See that roll of the collar? That's what you get with a Brooks Brothers button-down shirt, which it's hard for other shirts to duplicate it. I don't know why, but with the classic Brooks Brothers made in USA shirts had this beautiful roll to the collar that really does look nice, even with or without a tie. So there's that. And then let's see. Hey, Craig, going modern business casual. Okay. And then RWAG's in the house, last minute notification, Craig, on my email. Yeah, I forgot to email it out. So I emailed it out 4 minutes literally before showtime. And I actually scheduled it about 15 minutes before showtime. So now I did announce almost an hour ago on the Watches channel. Those that were monitoring the Watches channel on Zello knew that a show was coming. So Jason says, hi, everyone. Brooks Brothers shirts are great. Okay. All right. So I'll show you here how this works with casual. I can't do the wide shot because I only have the 2 cameras right now because I'm using a feed for the iPad. But I will show you what the jeans look like, at least some of them. So I'll stand up here. You can see the jeans, okay, and the sport coat. All right. You can see you can get the general idea, right? And I can actually button this. I can still button it, right? So it still fits. See? So, and it is exceptionally comfortable. Exceptionally comfortable. You get these modern skinny fit. I don't know what you call them. The silly looking sport coats that are real short, that are real tight. I don't know what you call them. What's that called? Is that called the silly boy jacket? What's the term for those? But anyway, those things cannot be comfortable. I can't imagine that those things can be comfortable to wear. You're not going to get any freedom of movement. It's just going to bind, and it's just not going to be fun to wear. These high quality sport coats like this, these are actually fun to wear. They're enjoyable to wear. As you feel the fabric, it just feels so nice. This is, of course, alpaca. Feels really nice. The ones I have that are cashmere also feel nice. The ones I have that are just even high quality wool feel nice. A really high quality wool almost feels like cashmere. It's just really high quality fabric. I don't know how to explain it, but it just has a feel to it. Even high quality cottons that are, uh, tightly woven cotton feels good. I guess you just have to experience. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. I think you have to experience it. Let's see here. Jason says, I think the thin and slim fit clothes are an initiative by the clothing industry to sell us less fabric at the same price. That would be smart on their part. That would be smart. And Chi-Town calls it the modern cut. The modern cut. Okay, so we'll know to stay away from that. If we ever see, quote, modern cut, we will run and hide. We'll run the other direction away from that. So, so yeah. Does this prove my point that you can wear a high quality sport coat with casual attire? Does this prove my point? I want to hear a yes in the comments, or Y for yes, N for no. Y for yes, N for no. Why this proves that you can wear a high quality sport coat casually. That would be a Y for yes. N for no, it absolutely doesn't work. Let me know what you think. We'll get a vote going in the chat. Let's see here. I made the mistake of buying a modern cut suit from Macy's, and as soon as I bulked up at the gym, the jacket immediately stopped fitting. Probably didn't even fit that good when you first got it. Most of my shirts are Brooks Brothers, pretty good stuff. Not necessarily the best, but the money on the good sale very much worth it. I have a couple of their high-end made in America stuff. Yeah, that's what you want to get. You don't want to get any of their import stuff. Thumbs down on their imported stuff. Get the old made in USA stuff. You'll be glad you did. Yeah, it looks great. Need to get those tailored though. Got a great deal and they still in the wrapper. Get what tailored? Oh, the shirts? Why would you need to get shirts tailored? If they're the right size, they should fit. Don't have them taken in the waist and all that. No. Come on. They're supposed to have a lot of fabric in them. They're supposed to have a lot of fabric. That's the way it works. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. I'm trying to help these people. I'm trying to help them, but they're resisting. Okay, we got a Y from Cheat Town. We got a Y from our Wags. Let's see. Nope, it didn't fit that good in the first place. I got the X crease of death when I buttoned it. Yeah. And Derek's in the house. He says hi. And Jason says, Rich, new avatar, love it. Out with the DSSD and in with the bond. Okay, there you go. And by the way, has has Rich received the Bond watch yet? Has he received it? What's the status on that? Picking up my Lexus from the shop, says Cheetown. First time in years I had to pay to get a part replaced. What did they do, and what was the cost? Do tell. We like details on this channel. Triforce Rich in the house. I can't be a poser, Jason. Don't have the watch anymore, so paying homage to Connery. Okay. Triforce Rich. Let's see. It comes tomorrow. Oh, okay. Cool. And he did share some photos of his jacket. I don't know if I still have them. Well, I know they're here somewhere, but I don't. Oh, here they are. No, I'm sorry. These are some photos from Unit 100. Look here. Look at this. Beautiful sport coat. Fashioned very much after an Oxford. He says he had them made at a store in Chicago that used to be an Oxford dealer. This place here, he had them custom made, and they made it a very similar design to Oxford for him. And there's the timepiece. And this is all shared on the Watches channel, guys. I'm not making this up. The Watches channel on Zello. It's free. It's free to join the fun. Download the app, Zello, Zello. Trying to get to where Rich showed there's Brief Fit Dance's stunner with the purple stingray strap. So yeah. And here's the Oxford. And it came from Richards. So Triforce Rich's jacket came from Richards. Oh, he didn't show a picture of the whole jacket though, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the dance that Carlos wanted him to do in it. So yeah, how cool is that? How cool is that app? And these guys are having some fun with it. So why don't you guys too? There is a link in the description to a blog post I have about Zello for those of you who are technically challenged and need some help with that. There's that. My local shop, rear brakes were old and rusty. About 460, including parts and labor. Well, that's not bad at all. If you can get out of any auto repair shop for less than $500, you're doing really good under any circumstances. I'll have to change it with my iPhone. Okay. Rotors and pads. Yeah, that's not bad at all. You didn't do bad at all. You must have a good mechanic. David Williams, I wear tailored fit and slim fit shirts, work well for me. I put on an old school Brooks Brothers shirt. It looked like I was wearing a tent. I don't know about that. Okay. If you like it, go for it. But I think those slim fit things look silly. Jason's in the house. Unit is a fancy dude. He dresses nice. He dresses sharp. He doesn't wear any of that slim fit stuff. Triforce is in the house. David, the classic fit Brooks Brothers clothes, untailored, can fit an elephant in there. Not even Craig could wear it. It takes obese Americans into account. No, you can have that extra fabric. It doesn't get in the way. This shirt here has a lot of extra fabric. Okay. A lot of extra fabric. And what it does is it makes it more comfortable. I'm sorry, but that's what it does. That's what that extra fabric is there for. It's not there just see when you move, you need the extra fabric to be able to move unrestricted. So yeah. There's a talk about the classic Brooks Brothers shirts. There's a scene in, I believe, the movie North by Northwest where Cary Grant is shaving and he's wearing like a Brooks Brothers shirt. He got a new shirt and took it out of the thing and all and put it on. It was almost down to his knees. The shirt went like halfway down his leg. And I was like in heaven. I was like, oh my God, look at that shirt. That is amazing. You think the shirts, from 20 years ago had a lot of fabric in them. Just go back to when that movie was made. Let's see. What else? Some slim fits, though, are too narrow, so those are hit and miss. Yeah, I guess so. I'd stay away from them. My ex-wife bought all my clothing previous to the divorce. Now I can't shop anymore. Okay. Who those pictures of Boozer? Okay, not sure what we're talking about. Okay, so well, the pictures I just showed are in the Watches channel on Zello. So it's Zello. Go ahead and download that app and put it on your phone, and then add the Watches channel. You'll have some fun. You should get in there, Derek. You should get in there. Let's see. I'm 6'3", 250 pounds. Tents fit on me. Good, Dave. There you go. That's right. What else? Okay, I think we solved that problem, at least for now. No more comments about the Bitfinex hack, huh? And the recovery of all that Bitcoin. I mean, if they were smart enough to hack 100,000 plus Bitcoin in the first place, right? How can they be so stupid as to put the private keys up on the cloud, up on a cloud server, and not even have them encrypted? What in the, you know what? And also, how can they be stupid enough to stay here in the United States where the feds can get their hand on them? Why didn't they at least go somewhere where they could pay off some third world dictator and, and hang out on the beach? I mean, they're facing 5 to 20 years minimum, and they forfeited the Bitcoin or a large portion of the Bitcoin. I think some of the Bitcoin is still lost forever, right? I think they spent some, and some of it's gone. But the feds recovered a lot because they had the keys up in the cloud. Bree says, "Hello, everyone." Hello, everyone, says Bree. We just showed your stunner a little while ago. If you want to share a photo in the watches on the Watches channel, Bree, I'll show it. Anybody else, if you want to share anything in the Watches channel, show you how easy this is. There's Bree's strap right there. How stunning is that? So if there's anything you want me to show, you share it in there, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Let's see. How do you think they got caught and lost the BTC? It's amazing to me. Well, they were doing a whole bunch of silly things to try to launder the BTC. They were trying to do some fancy things to kind of launder it. And they ended up, a lot of those things that if you're not really good and really smart about it, you're going to get caught. The feds are going to be able to figure out what you're doing, right? And so evidently they figured out what they were doing and they got onto them. And a lot of the times the way these things happen too is somebody rats them out, right? I remember that famous movie with the Thomas Crown Affair with Steve McQueen, right? And the insurance investigator, she ended up putting an ad in the paper, be a Fink, for whatever it was, $5,000 or whatever the price was she offered, right? And she gave a little bit of information about the robbery and basically, come to us and be a Fink, rat somebody out and we'll give you some money, right? And so that's how a lot of these things work, is somebody ends up ratting somebody out. So you never hear about that behind the scenes, right? But that's how they kind of get their lead in the first place and get onto somebody. And then once they're onto you, they do their thing. Jason says, "Hey, Bree, I asked the same thing, Craig. With that much crypto, they should have been somewhere outside of the US and should have had private keys secured. And they could have had 500 Bitcoin here with different private keys and 500 there and 500. They could have spread it around and had a whole bunch of different sets of private keys and had some buried in the park somewhere, some buried over here, some buried, you know what I mean? I mean, they could have spread that. My gosh, when you got that much Bitcoin, You could, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, but they screwed up. They screwed up, and a lot of criminals, that's what they do. They screw up. That's why they're criminals. A shot in the dark. Okay. um, Craig, if young men dress like you, would the pregnancy rate skyrocket? That's a good question. A lot of countries are at negative population growth now. In other words, they're not having enough babies. Like for example, Japan, they're not having enough babies to replace the people that are dying. So they're a negative population growth, which I mean, I'm not so sure that's such a bad thing. I mean, what's so bad about that? I'd rather have quality over quantity anyway, if I had to choose. Um, I just passed one up here. Saw a video of the new Karatsuri watch, truly stunning. Shame it's a high beat. Yeah, I would pass on the high beat thing. I emailed you. Okay, we'll look. We'll look. Okay. Why is 21 BTC the magic number we should own? Okay, we'll talk about that. R Wags is in the house. What's the deal with wearing tennis shoes with your suit? Yeah, that's not ever good. You shouldn't wear sport shoes like tennis shoes, basketball shoes, unless you're playing the particular sport. That's when you should wear those shoes. Any other time, you should be wearing something else. Okay, something else. So if you dress casually, you can wear a high quality pair of boat shoes. You can wear a high quality pair of what I like to call moccasin style construction shoes. You could wear a nice pair of loafers. You could wear a nice pair of Gucci's. If you're casually dressed, Gucci's even go with jeans. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there. You could even wear a nice pair of chukka boots, something like that from a nice high quality manufacturer. There's a lot of possibilities as far as shoes that you can wear other than, quote, sneakers. Let's check the mail. Because one problem with wearing sneakers all the time is, first of all, it encourages your feet to smell. They get smelly, right? And while I say that you don't necessarily need a watch rotation where you wear a different watch every day, you do need a rotation of shoes. It's not a good idea to wear the same shoes every day. It's not a good idea to wear the same shoe more than once a week. Once a week. And Triforce Rich says, Craig, what do you think about this Gucci attire? Okay, we're going to show that. There you go. I hope he's just wearing that at the gym. I hope that's where he's wearing that stuff. But yeah, no, I wouldn't go out in public with that. Okay, here's the watch that Derek sent in. Derek is still obsessed with day dates, And this is an 1803 model for 18,500. That's a lot of money for an 1803. It better be really nice. Let's look at the pictures. It looks like the bracelet's pretty tight from what I can see here. Let's see if they have a picture holding it sideways to see if it droops. Oh, there it is. That's not terrible. It's not the best I've seen, but that's certainly not terrible. It looks pretty good. I had an 1803, but I had an 1803 that had the conventional clasp, that I really liked. That's a lot of money. But yeah, the day dates are going up. Well, everything's going up because the dollar's going down, really. The dollar is devaluing is really what's happening. What tennis shoes do you wear? Usually I wore like either high-end Nikes or high-end New Balances, just a high-end pair of tennis shoes that would fit me good. I would go to the Sports Authority or whatever down there in Sarasota and just try on what they have and get something that really is comfortable. But usually the higher end ones are usually better. 1803, a nice day date version. Okay. Somebody else. Okay. 21. He asked about 21. The answer is simple. That number came from Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. You should follow him on Twitter if you're not already. Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. He's the one that convinced me back in 2016 not to try to buy and sell and time the market, just to buy and hold. And back then, he was saying that people should have 21 Bitcoin, should be their target. If you have more than that, that's fine. But he was saying that 21, as long as you hold, as long as you're a long-term thinker and you hold the Bitcoin, that you should be set with 21 Bitcoin. And that was the number that he coined. And I'm not exactly sure how he came up with it. You could probably message him on Twitter and he would give the breakdown of how he came up with that number. But that's the number he came up with years ago. And I thought that it was a good idea. So, yeah. So we'll see. There are people now that are saying you don't have to have anywhere near that many. There are people now that are saying if you have one Bitcoin and you hold it long enough, you'll be set. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell the tale on all that. All right. Oh boy. Oh, that's rude to yawn in the middle of a show, but it is what it is. Let's look one more time at this date, just because we can. Make Derek happy. And I'm not a fan of the gold dial personally. I would rather have what they called the silver dial was what was on mine. That is a nice unit. But that's a lot of money. But you can make an offer on it. You can make an offer. Let's see. Jason in the house. 21 was attainable back then, but now it would be difficult for most folks to get close to that. 1 TP is a reasonable goal, though. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that have money invested in things that they can move that money into Bitcoin. And I think we're going to start seeing that happen. I think we're going to start seeing money moving from other forms of investments, rental properties, art, antique cars, watches. I think as Bitcoin becomes more and more popular and more accepted, that we're going to see money moving from from other forms of investments into Bitcoin. And if you have other investments and you move your money into Bitcoin, you might very easily be able to get to that 21 number. Obviously, the sooner you do it, the easier it's going to be, right? The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to obtain that number. So that's how it's going to work, I think. I'm sending he's sending another email. Okay. Craig, if Derek had listened to you and bought BTC all those years back, imagine how many day dates he could have bought. Triforce Rich. A lot of people didn't listen to me, and a lot of people are still not listening to me now. Triforce Rich, you're not even listening to me. I don't think you sold your Rolex to put the money into Bitcoin, right? That was the advice that I gave. So yeah, most people are not listening. I don't know if there's going to be a point when they're going to start listening or not. What do you guys, let me know in the chat. What do you think? Is there a point where they will start listening? Or are they just never going to listen and never going to learn? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. What's the point where they might start listening, if ever? Let us know in the chat. Let me check the email one more time. What in the heck is this? What is this? A Topman stainless automatic. What is this? Oh God. Oh God, help us. Oh boy, Derek. I don't know, Derek. I don't know, Derek. You might need an intervention. And Derek says, I did listen, but I can't spend them. I bought like 10 or so, but only my daughter knows how it works to spend it. I'm old, 53. Oh, you bought 10 Bitcoin? Well, good. That's good. And it's good that you don't know how to spend it. That way you won't be tempted, right? And Kyle's laughing. Jason in the house. They will never start listening if they haven't yet. BTC at 1K, 20K, 30K, 60K were all huge, huge moments in time. And if they didn't get on board, they never will. Interesting take, Jason. I think they will get on board because remember, you're too young to remember, but I remember when the internet first started. And there was a lot of pushback on the internet. There were a lot of people that said the internet will never catch on. It's nothing but porn on there, et cetera, et cetera. All kinds of things they said about the internet, right? Negative things about the internet. And now all of them are using it. Little old ladies, grandmas, and so on. You know, people that said they would never use the internet are on the internet all the freaking time. And so I think eventually they'll all be using Bitcoin, whether they know it or not. They'll be part of the Bitcoin ecosystem and they'll be supporting the Bitcoin ecosystem. And, but that will probably be for the real holdouts, it'll probably be 10 years from now. That's my guess. It'll probably be 10 years before the real holdouts. And that's about how long it took for the internet too. The internet started really in earnest around 1994. And let's see, 1994 to 2004 to 2014. Yeah, it was probably 20 years before most of the real holdouts started using it, right? And then started using things like Facebook and stuff like that. And it's probably really in the last 5 years or so that just about everybody has gotten on, right? Think about it. I knew people that still weren't on Facebook 5 years ago, right? It was common, as a matter of fact, for somebody not to be on Facebook or not to be on, I don't even think Instagram existed, right? But I mean, it was common for people not to be doing those kinds of things. Now it's uncommon for somebody not to be doing those things. I think it's flipped, right? Derek's in the house. I have the same $100 bills my neighbor gave me for my tutor. I don't spend any money because I'm very frugal. Uh-oh, but you should have put that money in Bitcoin. Cash is losing its purchasing power rapidly. And Derek says, my farm is paid off. Good. That is good. All right, I think we've hashed everything out. Nobody shared any more photos in the watches on the watches channel. So I think we're going to be able to end early, and I am getting a little bit hungry. So, and I've been known to get a little bit mean when I get hungry. And Triforce, if you're still in there, have you dropped off your jacket at the tailor? Have you had any interaction with the tailor on your jacket? We inquiring minds want to know. It is bills. I don't even know how. Okay. He doesn't know how to buy the Bitcoin. Yeah. Not yet. I haven't had the time. Triforce Rich hasn't had the time. Okay, so he'll give us a full report when he does do that. And then tomorrow, the bond watch. And what day were you planning on coming on a show, Triforce Rich? What day were you shooting for? Because I think you were going to come on a show. Maybe did you say Thursday or did you say tomorrow? Let us know, and we'll see what we can figure out. We'll see if we can get something scheduled to get you in here. Angry plus hungry equals angry. David Williams in the house. And let's see. Show that thing Derek sent in again. Was oh God help us. God help us. I don't even know what it is. I mean, how can it be one piece 4 cents, three pieces 4 cents? It says 9,200 pieces 4 cents. It says 4 cents for each price category. I don't know. Let's see. 4 cents go for it. Oh boy. Um, and somebody was asking about a Cartier and one of the things as to whether or not it was real or not. And I felt like replying, well, whether it's fake, real, or whatever, I mean, there are better options out there. Go ahead and move on it. And the one he was looking at, I don't know if it was supposed to be stainless steel or white gold, but it was, it was white. And I think it was an obvious fake. And can you imagine if he thinks he's buying a white gold Cartier and it turns out to be a stainless steel fake? I mean, that's really taking it on the chin. Kyle's thinking about going for it. All right, what else? What website was it? Is dhgate.com. dhgate.com. And Carlos shared a picture. Here he shared a picture. He's on Southern Command patrol there, and he's checking the southern border. And there you go. There's his tutor with that butt ugly hour hand. And I'm not that enamored with the second hand, with that triangle on the second hand. Yeah, they could fix some things there, but Craig, I saw someone on the GS group complaining about his 231 class and was tempted to link you in the chat. These people just don't get it. Oh, they're clueless. And another person, I replied to a post. Somebody shared comparing the not the Submariner, but the bigger Submariner, probably the Sea Dweller, probably, and a 229 or whatever, the diver's watch that's like mine, that's stainless steel, and saying which one should you get. And I replied, GS, definitely the GS, and it would be even better if you stepped up to the 231. And I put a picture of my 231, and he responded, do they still make you use the pins and collars, whatever, however he referred to it, right? For sizing the bracelet, and on the titanium ones, right? And I replied, yes, because it's the best solution. And I explained to him that because it has the micro adjustments, you only have to do that when you first buy the watch. You only have to have a link removed when you first buy the watch. Once you get it fitted properly, you've got plenty of adjustment in those micro adjustments to do your seasonal micro adjustments without having to take out a link, right? And then, of course, you have the extension, the diver's extension, in addition to that. And so, as usual, these people are just totally freaking clueless. They're like, well, it's so hard to take those links out. And so it's, well, how often? I've only taken the link out of my diver one time when I first bought it. He took the link out at Little Treasury Jewelers. And we got the balance, the clasp, balanced in the center of my wrist on the bottom when it's on, and fitted properly with the micro adjustment right in the middle. I think it has 5 holes. So I think it was like right in the middle. And then, so I just adjust it one hole, one way or the other, depending on the weather. And that's it. I'm done, right? I don't have to take another link out ever. Okay. Like ever. So what's the downside again of the pins and pipes, especially for that watch that has the micro adjustments? It's just like these people are just, some of them are just absolutely clueless. It isn't real, Craig. Okay. Craig, I wouldn't recommend a 229 over Rolex. The titanium makes the watch. It's way too cumbersome and steel. I wouldn't buy the 229. I don't get it. Um, but if I was forced between a sea dweller, which isn't exactly, trim, okay, a sea dweller and the 229, I would still pick the 229 in that case, right? Now, if it was between a sub and a 229, I'd probably pick the sub, but again, I don't know if I can go back to an inaccurate watch. That's my issue. I'm really spoiled with the spring drive. So even the sub versus the 229, I would probably reluctantly take the 229, but thank God I don't have to make that decision, and I can just buy the 231 and call it a day. It's not that much more money. If you buy them used, it might be 500 or 1,000 more, right, for the titanium. But I mean, why wouldn't you do that? If you're buying a watch in that price range, why wouldn't you? And I certainly wouldn't avoid it because it's got pins and collars. Oh, God, help us all, people. Triforce Rich, Craig. Do you ever get uncomfortable that your 231 only has 200-meter water resistant, no helium escape valve? If you're ever caught in a dive cage to extreme depths, it could be the end of the 231. I would quite frankly, I would be happy as could be if it was 100-meter water resistant and they made it thinner. That would be okay with me, right? Um, what was the original Submariner? Wasn't it 100 meters? I'm trying to remember. It was 660 feet. I guess that's 200 meters. I guess the original one was 200. I don't remember now. But I would be happy as can be if it was 100-meter, like the GMTs, right? Like the GMT Master. That's all I need. The spring drive, accuracy is really amazing. And let me tell you something else about the 231. I had that on my wrist, and I was just looking at it yesterday and just studying it, just looking at the way it laid on the wrist, the way the lugs lay on the wrist, the way the bracelet is nice and trim to the wrist all the way around. And I even looked at the clasp. I just studied the whole thing for a while, right? And I'm just like, it's stunning. It looks great on wrist for a watch that's as utilitarian as this watch is. It just has a great look to it. It's like when they came out with the Range Rover to replace the Land Rover. The Range Rover looked a lot better, in my opinion, but it still looked like it was down to business, like it could still handle off-road, and they're great off-road. I will not take that away from, especially the original Range Rover. They've gotten softer over the years, but the original Range Rover, I put one of those through its test. I mean, I abused this, what, out of one of those, and it was amazing off-road. Now, are they reliable? Do they have issues? Yeah, they have issues, right? But one that's in good shape, they're amazing off-road. I think if that vehicle had the reliability of a Land Cruiser, my God, you'd have something there, right? And the 231 is like that. It's like you take a super utilitarian watch and just make it look a little better, just a little better, right? And so you still have all the utilitarian aspects, but you just take the appearance up a few notches. And then, of course, with the GS Spring Drive, we have the reliability of the Toyota, right? Of the Toyota Land Cruiser. So we get the best of all possible worlds. Let me pull up the photo that shows what I'm talking about. See in this picture here, whoops. See in this picture here, you can see the Series 3 Land Rover. There we were testing the strength of that deck that we put on the cabin. And you can see behind it the front end of the Range Rover. And that was the first year that they sold them in this country. And we put both of those vehicles through extreme off-road tests. And yeah, they're pretty freaking amazing. Let's see. Let's get caught up. How do you feel about the Omega Speedmaster? I'm not a fan. I don't need the Speedmaster function. If you do, then yeah, go for it. But I don't like a cluttered dial like that for my watches. I don't want a chronograph. Try first, Rich. Do you even use the dive bezel? At that point, wouldn't you just want a large dial watch, not a dive watch? But I guess you have the micro adjustments. Well, I do occasionally use it. Like if I park somewhere and I've got 20 minutes on the meter, sometimes I will pivot it around to time that. So occasionally I use it, and to me, there's no downside. There's no downside to having it. I think it looks kind of cool, and so yeah, it doesn't bother me that that is there. Let's see, Triforce in the house, Craig. Do you find the hands on the 231 a bit odd? Would you prefer a different handset, or does the legibility when you? I love them. I love the hands because you get the best of both worlds. You get a lot of loom and a lot of thickness, but they come to a point that the hour hand has that pointer on it, and the minute hand has a sharp pointer on it. So it has that big triangle, but it also coming off of that, you can't really see in this photo very good. It has a pointer coming out that meets the minute thing. So you get the precision of like a sword hand, but you get that extra bulk to allow you to easily read it and easily identify which hand is the hour hand and which hand is the minute hand. I wouldn't change a thing about the dial or the hands. Yeah. Okay. 200 meter, 606 feet. Yeah, yeah. So they were, I think, were the original subs 200 meters, or were the original ones like 100 meters, and then shortly thereafter they went to 200? I don't remember the history of that, but yeah. How are the gaps on the inlinks of the 231? I've heard horrible histories lately about the inlinks on GS. Mine are tight. Mine are fine. So, and actually all of them that I've had have been tight. The 005 that I had, the 2 snowflakes that I had have all been very tight fitting in links. I wouldn't buy a watch that had like gaps in the in links. I mean, that would be silly. So yeah, I think you should definitely check a watch before you buy it. And if it's got issues with the end links, I would pass. That'd be a hard pass. Do you plan on going to the Bitcoin event in Miami? Yes. Yes, I'll be there. Craig, don't just comment on the end link. Show us macro shots of it. I did take a picture of the end link, and I shared it. I shared it in the watches, on the in the watches channel. It would improve those 231 hands with the Tudor hands. No. That would be a total fail. The Tudor snowflake hands have plenty of loom. Yeah, I would pass on the Tudor. What else? See, I don't buy ugly watches under any circumstances. Don't do that. Life's too short to buy ugly watches, and to wear them is even worse. What else? We need a bracelet class rematch between Craig and Carlos. He would lose. Nobody can beat the 231 for a bracelet clasp. It would be great if you could do a broadcast from Miami. Bitcoiners are the most interesting people in the world. It depends on the coverage there and what kind of cell coverage I have. We might try to do some interviews with some people and put something together. It also depends on the restrictions they have, on what we can and can't do in the venue. I'm hoping I can bring my Sony A7S Mark III with the portrait lens, because I'd like to be able to take some nice portraits of people with Brianna and some individual portraits and stuff. But I don't know if they'll let you bring, like, for example, professional camera in there. Some places have real restrictions, the venue itself, on what you can and cannot bring in there. So I'll do the best I can to get some content while I'm down there, but it's going to depend on, what they allow. Carlos is in the house. We still not have any news about our candidate for security department in Miami. That's a big problem. When is the crypto event in Miami? It's in April. I don't know the exact dates, but just Google it. It's the Bitcoin conference, Miami, and you'll see all the information. Kyle's in the house. Great idea. We need to go live from Florida. Hello, Crappy. Okay, he's in the house. Craig, the Tudor Pelagos adjusts itself. Yeah, I would pass on the whole Tudor concept. All right, I think we can wrap it up. Let me do another announcement for the Watches channel. That's a picture of the stunner that Jason got and that he shared. And he says his end links look pretty tight in person, but he can force it over and do a photo and show a gap if he wants to. But he says in actual use, there's no gap noticeable. So, yeah, I would say that if you're buying any watch, I don't care what watch it is, examine it completely before you buy it, and then buy it based on the fact that you're happy with what you see. As long as you're happy with what you see, it don't matter about what other people say, unless it's me. If I say something, then that matters. Derek says we can't end. What happened to Stig? Good question. Before you wrap up, why haven't gold frames been purchased yet? Gold frames. Oh, these are just cheap reading glasses. Yeah. I've got other glasses that I wear that have gold frames, but not for reading. Crappy. I hope Bree will unban you someday. Stig is gone and Jay literally disappeared. I'm worried that something is going on. Yeah, I mean, there's people are being offed, I think. Let me see if I can find another picture here. Here's one. All right, so here's a picture of me wearing some glasses with some gold frames, gold and tortoiseshell frames. So that was when I interviewed the lovely lady Brianna at Thermont Smiles. That video's on the channel. The video is on the channel, so check it out. All right. Jaden leaving is very odd. Is he gone completely, or is he just taking a sabbatical? He was supposed to be at the event. Oh, he was supposed to be at the event, and then from then on, he's disappeared. So, yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, we're going to let you guys go. We're going to get something to eat. Derek's begging Lance to call in, but we'll do it again sometime soon. And get in the Watches channel. Go to Zello, ZELO.com is their URL, but they're in the App Store for both Android and iOS. Just download it and you can join in on the fun. And there you go. That's how that whole thing works. Free app, okay? Add the Watches channel. Carlos says, looking at that macro shot of the 231, I think you should adjust the minute hand. It might be parallax effect. Oh, you're talking about this shot here? Yeah, it's camera angles. So you're not going to see like how well the man at hand's aligned with the second hand or anything, because it's not an absolute straight on camera shot, unfortunately. But it aligns in real life. I'll show you at the next event. You can look at it at the next event. It'll be available. Well, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll be wearing the 002, but anyway, we'll see about all that. All right, everybody, carry on, carry on.